everyone, my name's Ahnna, and today's video is going to be about my video making process. I got inspired to make this video after watching Rhiannon's video on the Geeky Blonde called YouTube Girls about her video making process. If you're interested in watching that, I'll leave the link in the description. The first step in my video making process is to just come up with an idea. I think of video ideas randomly in the middle of the day, so I just put them in this note in my phone. It has a lot of things in it right now. Usually I'll just write down the main idea of the video and then maybe a short description of what I think it would be like, but usually just a few words about the video is enough for me to remember where I was going with it. The next step in my video making process is probably the hardest step, and that is gathering enough motivation to actually make a video. As you can tell from my uploading schedule, or lack thereof, this is really difficult for me because I know how much work is going to have to go into it. And since I've come home from school, I've been making my videos at night after I come home from work and everyone's asleep. Next, I pick a topic from my list and I make a simple outline of what I'm going to say in the video. I make all of my outlines in this notebook and it is honestly a lifesaver. I don't really like making my outlines on the computer because it's hard for me to focus on what I'm doing when I'm not physically writing it out. So having one notebook where I write all of it is really useful for me. Most of my outlines are between 1 and 6 or 7 pages, depending on how long the video is, how structured I want it to be, how much I pre-plan what I'm going to say, and all that stuff. But I would say on average they're about 3 or 4 pages. I don't ever script what I'm going to say because I think it sounds more natural if I'm just speaking to the camera. And that's partially because the way I write and the way I speak have very different tone. So if I just said what I wrote, I think it would sound too artificial. The next step for me is mostly just psychological. I like to tidy up my room a little bit before I start filming. Most of the cleaning that I do is pretty basic stuff. I make my bed, I clean up whatever laundry might be on the floor, and I clear off my piano, my desk, and my bedside table so that there's nothing really distracting me. And then I move on to the next step, which is setting up my camera and lighting. Right now, that looks like this. As you can see, I use a tripod to set up my camera. The camera I use is a Nikon D3300 with the regular lens that it comes with. For lighting, I use a lamp that's just shining directly at my face. After I set everything up, I do lighting and camera checks to make sure that everything looks okay and I'm not completely out of focus. Next on the list, after all of my stuff is set up and my room is clean and my video is planned, is hair, makeup, and clothing. For clothing, honestly, I just wear what I've been wearing that day. I try not to wear the same shirt in like a ton of videos in a row because that's just how I am. For hair, I either straighten it or I pull it back. Today, you can see I've straightened it. A lot of whether I straighten it or not depends on how much time I have and honestly how lazy I'm feeling. Today I didn't have any time restrictions and I was feeling more motivated than usual, so I decided to straighten it. But it's a personal choice. Honestly, if you don't feel like doing anything with your hair, don't. Just wear it the way that you feel comfortable with. And usually I straighten my hair because I think it looks more neat when it's straightened as opposed to natural, but really it's a personal choice for everyone. With makeup, I go super natural and simple. I mostly wear makeup when I'm making videos so that my features don't disappear because they really do have a tendency to disappear when you're on camera. I just use a light BB cream. It's the Maybelline Dream Fresh BB cream. I really like it. I use it instead of foundation all the time. It's just really light coverage and it's a sunscreen too, so it protects your skin. I also use an ELF tone correcting powder. For my eyes, I just use a basic black eyeliner pen and a Maybelline Rocket Volume Express mascara. This is my favorite mascara ever, by the way. The last things I use for my lips are a Tarte Power Pigment in the color Blissful, and I just top it with a basic lip gloss. All the hair, makeup, and clothes stuff that I do is to make me feel more comfortable personally. Really, that's how it should be for everyone. If you don't really like wearing makeup or straightening your hair or doing whatever, and it's not going to make you feel more comfortable in front of the camera and more confident, then by no means should you feel like you have to do it. After that, I do a final hair, makeup, clothes, lighting, camera check. I just take a short video that looks like this. Hi everyone, my name's Ahnna and this is a test. I always say the same thing in my test videos because I think it's a good way to kind of have a control, and I can compare it to my other tests and my other videos to make sure that everything is to my liking. After that, we move on to the possibly most important step of making a video, and that is actually recording. I record sitting on my bed. I did at school and I do at home. I set my timer on my phone so that I know how much time has gone by and how long I've been filming. And then when I'm done, obviously, I turn off the camera. Usually I get between 15 and 30 minutes of raw footage depending on how many times I re-say things, how long the video is, how much I already have planned what I'm going to say. I forgot to mention this before, but while I'm filming, I like to have my water with me. My throat gets really dry when I'm filming and my mouth gets really dry, so it's nice to have it. After I'm done filming, I immediately take my camera and transfer the footage from the camera chip to my computer. After it's all transferred, I watch the whole thing back on my computer, sometimes twice, to see what I have to work with and to make mental notes of what I want to put in and what I think I'm gonna leave out. And then we move to editing. I know some people really enjoy editing. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite part of the process, mostly because you have to listen to your voice saying the same things over and over and over and over again, and you start to get really annoyed of the way you sound. But at this point, I've gotten pretty used to the way my voice sounds in recordings, so I can make it through the video editing process without wanting to strangle somebody. Mostly myself. For editing, I use Lightworks, mostly because it's free and I'm not really into spending over $400 for editing software at this point. But it works fine for me. When I edit my videos, as you can tell from both this video and all my previous videos, it's pretty simple. I mostly just cut things together and take out the things that I don't want to be in the video. And then I fix the sound and coloring a little bit and sometimes add background music. After I've edited and exported my video, I upload it to YouTube. While I'm waiting for it to upload, I do my description and my tags and everything else, and I set up my social media posts. After I've uploaded my video and promoted it on various social media platforms, I just watch the analytics. I like to get a sense of how each video that I make compares to my other videos, so I'll look at how many initial views it got, the long-term views, if it's showing up in searches, and who's watching. So that is the end of my video making process from start to finish, everything that I do. I hope that this was maybe a bit helpful for either somebody who's thinking about starting to make YouTube videos or someone who's still trying to get the hang of it. Personally, I'm still trying to get the hang of it. This is only like my 11th or 12th video, but I know from personal experience that watching videos about how to make videos can be really helpful when you're thinking about making your first video, because it can be really hard to figure out this process on your own. As you can see, this is a long process. Most people see a video on YouTube and they just don't realize that it's taken, 2 hours of prep, up to an hour of filming time, sometimes more, and then tons of time on editing. I've taken up to 6 hours to edit a video, and it can be absolute grueling work. So good for you if you've ever made a video in your life and posted it on the internet. Not only have you put a lot of time and effort and yourself into something, but you've also had the courage to make something that represents you, put it out there, and hopefully not worry too much about what other people are going to think about it. On that note, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It means a lot to me, and maybe even a comment. I would love to see how you make your videos too, if you make videos. And if you'd like your creation process video to be put in a YouTube Girls playlist, email it to the email in the description. There's a bit more explanation about that in Rhiannon's video, which, like I said, will be in the description. And if you want to see more of my videos, you can go ahead and subscribe. See you later!